gave him food and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the son thought of killing the mother, but then his advisors told him that no one could do something so evil, so he didn't. And the queen heard that he had said that, and she was really sad, and she didn't understand like how the world could be so cruel. So she prayed to Buddha for a place where she could learn, or a place set apart from the cruelty, so she wouldn't be distracted, so she could learn the ways of the Buddha, I guess. And in the book it said that the Buddha's true intention of opening this Pure Land to people was to provide a universally accessible avenue to spiritual emancipation. So it's like if somehow you're not in a situation or you don't have the mental capacity to find enlightenment, you can be reborn into Pure Land where the Buddha teaches you, so that maybe in your next life you could be reborn into a better situation, knowing more and having more wisdom, so you can somehow find enlightenment in that life.
Good. Yeah, let's let Kevin see it. That's okay. Yeah. Okay, let me summarize. Okay, let me summarize about this kind of feeling idea. Now, before I move on, let me explain to you again. So, for Mahayana approach, the goal of a member told you, let me see here, the goal of the Theravada, in Theravada traditions, this is Mahayana. Okay, the goal for practitioner in Theravada tradition is to become arhat, or holy monk, to get out of the birth circle, right? Remember, I told you that? And the goal for Mahayana is to become Buddha. I told you this one, right? Have I? No? Okay. To become Buddha. And in order to become Buddha, you have to use what's called Buddhism. You have to work on Buddhism-Part. In any practice, to become a Buddha. Why? Why is different? Okay, so the purpose of the Theravada tradition is to get out of this the birth cycle, so that we won't be revolved again and again. But in Mahayana tradition, remember I told you the Portugal story? The Buddha said that everyone has Buddha nature, pure nature, and everyone has potential to become a Buddha. And that's what he wants us to have. That's what he wants us to achieve to. Let me put it this way. Everyone of us has some kind of best friends, right? How do you define yourself, your best friends, in your own language? How could you define someone as your best friends?
Define them?
How?
Just people I trust the most.
And?
I care about.
Okay.
I go out of my way to do things for.
Okay. How about you? How could you define your best friends?
Same thing. People you trust, people you like spending time with.
And you share everything with them, or vice versa, they share with you everything, right? Right. But if friends that go by night, right? You may not like, or fly by night, right? Sorry, you may not like to stick with them, right? So again, the Buddha wants us to have the position as whichever it is he has, he would like to give to us. He has achieved enlightenment. He has become Buddha. That's why he wants everyone wants to become Buddha, or been awakened like him.
Okay.
You understand that?
What's the difference between the two?
Arhat. Again, the purpose of practicing in this tradition is to become arhat, to get out of this birth circle.
Oh.
And the purpose of Mahayana is to achieve the Buddhahood, to become Buddha. It makes sense? That's why we have profession of wisdom sutra there. That's why we have Lotus Sutra. Remember I told you the story about the prodigal son? He wanted to give everything to the son. Make sense? Right, that's the purpose. And that's why we have what we call the Pure Land tradition. Like you just mentioned, sometimes we don't have ability. We have some limitation to do things. So we rely on others. For example, nowadays many students from the third world, from the poor country, they'd like to come to this country to get education instead of staying back there. Make sense? Or if we don't have the major for your, if this school IUS doesn't have the major for your MS degree or PhD degree, you move on to different school. Make sense now? So that you can perfect your education knowledge. So the Pure Land is the place, and the ideal place where the Buddhists can be reborn there and eventually become Buddha. Is that clear now?
Mhm.
That is the what they call skill means in Buddhism. And that's the goal, right? You understand that goal, right?
Mhm. In the Mahayana.
In Mahayana tradition. So now let's go back to the origin of that type of Pure Land. So according to the legend, the king Bimbisara, remember the king that want to share half of his kingdom to the prince, remember that? Right? But later on, his son, overthrown him and put him in prison. So his mother, the queen, she put all these the powders, nutritional powder and so forth on her body. So whenever she went to the prison to visit her husband, she would take that type of food to give to him so that he could survive. But later on, the young king, the one that overthrown his father, find out, and he wanted to kill his mother too. So, but his officer said, well, in human history, yeah, we have a son kill the father, but not son kill the mothers. So he stopped. And so the queen, she's so frustrated. And she asked, with her sincerity, she asked the Buddha blessing. She asked the Buddha to provide her some land, some place so that she could go, not to stay here anymore. Make sense? And that's why the Buddha introduced her the Pure Land of Amitabha Buddha. The Pure Land of Amitabha Buddha. You understand that is the original story. And this is what we call, we have Amitabha Sutra, where the Buddha described the sin of that place, that ideal place, that the paradise place. Right? And in the last sutra, the Buddha mentioned about how that Pure Land is created. That Pure Land was created because of the vows of the monk. He made 48 vows. In one particular vow, he said that whoever recite his name at the last verse of their lives would be reborn in the Pure Land. It's similar to Christianity, right? Right? If you have the strong faith in Jesus Christ, right? You may be born, you may go to the heaven, right? Similar, but not similar in the way that when someone go there, eventually they become Buddha, right? So next week we can talk more about that, right? And anyway, so a lot of things to discuss. Okay.